Well, thank you. That is a smart business decision then, in addition to one consistent with your company's values. I'd like to ask Rob Carter, a longtime friend, and he's the CIO and Executive Vice President of FedEx. For those of you who might not know, 270,000 employees worldwide, $35 billion a year in revenues. Rob, what was the thinking behind your decision to install this in your Oakland hub, I think, right?
Well, we did put it in the Oakland hub, and from the start it was kind of one of those DNA matches. We've always loved the innovative edge, but especially where it turns practical, where you can make an investment in innovation and do something that's really, our company was sort of founded on changing what's possible, changing the way the world works. And from the day we met KR, actually we met them kind of helping them move stuff around to, in the early days of the company.
You meet a lot of people that way,
and then said, wow, this is cool. This is something that can make a difference. So at the Oakland hub, we've got a 500 kilowatt array that matches to the solar array that we have on the roof of that facility. That's going to take it almost completely off of the grid. And it's one of the largest industrial facilities that will have that characteristic. So it's been an exciting, fun, and good match between FedEx and Bloom.
Thank you very much, Rob. Brian Kelly, President of Coca-Cola, 700,000 employees, $30 billion worldwide revenue. You're thinking in putting this into your network?
To be clear, I'm the president of our still beverages, our non-carbonated beverages for Coca-Cola. But I am thrilled to be here to represent Coca-Cola and explain a little bit about what we're thinking and why we put this in. Like virtually every company up here, we have very aggressive goals to deeply embed sustainability in everything we do. And we need, as part of that, clean, reliable, off-the-grid energy sources that can allow us to meet what our consumers demand, what our customers demand, and what the communities in which we operate need. And so in our more than 200 countries around the world, we have these same goals. But one of the very aggressive goals we have as a Coca-Cola company is to have measured our carbon footprint in 2004 and look out to 2015, and while we have 11 years of business growth, have the same carbon footprint over that 11-year period. And we know, like you said, John, we can't do that in traditional ways. We need very innovative solutions to do that. And so when we saw and met KR and met the Bloom Energy team, we decided to put one here in California in our Odwalla juice plant, a natural juice that we have here in Dinuba. And so it'll now power 1/3 of the plant. It'll reduce our energy use by 1/3, and in doing the right thing for the community, the right thing for our business. We're very excited about the potential.
Thanks, Brian. Thank you very much. So I first met Jim Kennedy in the mid-90s. He then was CEO, now is chairman of Cox Enterprises. I dare say at least one of the best run of all the U.S. cable communications companies. They pioneered taking cable modems and broadband out to their millions of customers. Today, Cox Enterprises is a $15 billion business, 70,000 employees. And like many others here, Jim, your businesses are diverse and you have a national presence. How do you view your enterprise's commitment to sustainability and growth? How does Bloom figure into all that?
Well, first of all, it's interesting how it fits into our company. We're a private company, and while so much is changing, I find that gravity still works, at least at Cox Enterprises. So if the motivation comes from the top, it flows down very quickly. And I'm kind of at a stage in my life where when I started having grandchildren, I started thinking, when I look into my grandchildren's eyes and they ask me, have you, as a business leader, done all you can to make sure this planet is a good place for me to live? I want to be able to say yes. And so we began a process saying we need to reduce our energy consumption, reduce our carbon footprint. And we were able to go in and eliminate 10% pretty quickly, the low-hanging fruit, through conservation. And then we kind of ran up against that wall, and we needed to turn to innovation. And we looked around, and because of incentives, we have solar in New Jersey, in Florida, in Georgia, in California, in Arizona, and they make good financial sense for us. But when we heard about Bloom, we thought, this, like everybody, this is way too good to be true. And so I sent people who know a lot more about this than I do, and they said, it could be true. And so we decided to try. I mean, you have to try something that looks so good. And so we've installed 4 units at our television station, KTVU in San Francisco, The general manager, Tim McVeigh, is sitting here and he's smiling. That means it's working. It's been working, Tim, for over a month now. We produce the energy we need to power 70% of that facility, and we do it cheaper than we can get normal energy. So it's a great start for us. We're looking forward to going along on this ride with you.
Thank you very much. The newest of the companies to join us in this conversation, and Bloom's first customer is Google. And we're enormously honored to have one of Silicon Valley's great entrepreneurs and visionaries, Larry Page, here to tell us, Larry, about your vision for clean and renewable energy. I understand you've got a big program involved that at Google, R&D, venture capital, innovation, deployment through your network, and how Bloom figures into all that.
Well, thanks, John. It's really a privilege, I think, for us to be the first customer of Bloom. And I was actually quite surprised because I actually didn't know that much about this. We've obviously had a lot of relationship with John and with Kleiner and so on. But, I think our facilities managers kind of casually told me, oh, by the way, over by the highway, there's some boxes, there's some fuel cells generating electricity. And I said, well, what are you thinking? How did this happen? And I wanted to sort of tell this story because I think it illustrates what's really great about this product is that, I didn't have to know about it. We didn't have to call the mayor. We didn't have to, do lots of complicated things, which we do have to do for a lot of the renewable and other green energies we do. They were literally, and we were the first customer, so it's pretty secret at the time. And so, they didn't really want people to know about, so we kind of hid it out of the way. And, those boxes sat there and no one was the wiser. They thought they were transformers or something. Those things sat there in 24/7 generating electricity and were very, very easy for us to deploy. And I think that's really the beauty of this product is that not only can it make money for people right now and do it in a much greener way than they're currently doing, but it also has the possibilities to really function as a battery or the other kinds of things that were talked about. And I think that's a very big deal. In general, I also think moving production of energy closer to where it's used has a lot of benefits. It has a lot of environmental benefits, but also